Buckle up. You are listening to Musicians and Beyond with John Sarabian and Mark Lawhorn, where we bring you the backstage info on the life, lyrics, and long journeys of the music industry. Mark, we have an incredible guest today.
We do, but I have to ask, how come you get to do the intros?
Because I'm the only one that doesn't screw it up.
Oh, I don't. How would we know?
Well, and I have the feature of being able to edit it too, so.
I don't like that.
Well,
we'll get over it.
We'll get over it. Yeah, you're a big boy. Big boys don't cry. So anyways, Mark, last episode we had Alex Bach in studio for a full production. It was great.
Alex from he's got his own band, but one of the big things that we talked about that day was musicdrivesus.org. His father's organization and the family organization, big charitable and music-backed event. And they do a lot of great things for the school. So it was wonderful to talk to him about that and then hear some great stories.
Oh, my God, did he ever. He's a character.
To hear that he has access to the musicians he does and is on stage or at home playing with them in his house, in his studio.
In his house. I mean, he had played with Sammy Hagar. He played with Cheap Trick. I mean, all these big names.
Pretty cool.
It was a great story. And his new video just came out. He was talking about in the interview. So
it finally broke, and it's out on all of the platforms. Alex Bach, you can find him there. And what's the name of his band?
It is Generation 3.
I like that.
All right. So let's move on from Generation 3 to the young generation.
Yeah, let's talk about how we stumbled upon this next guest up at the Seabrook Idol competition. Yeah. And wow, what a year it was covering that.
Yeah, it was amazing. So when we found out this kid was only 16 and his writing and playing skills were just unbelievable, I think we should bring him on. Yeah. Actually, you know what, Mark? Before we bring him on, he's got to lose that hat, man. He's got to get a real hat.
Yeah.
What one's he wearing over there? I can't even see it.
I don't even know.
It's a little Lazy J.
All right.
It's a cowboy hat.
All right.
There you go.
It's a nice one.
But now he has a limited edition Musicians and Beyond hat.
Yeah, I love it.
So I have to tell you, while we were up at Seabrook Idol, we knew nothing about the contestants, nothing about the how it was going to end up and turn out. But when our guest stepped up and started playing, the entire house shut down. Yeah. Not a peep, not a sound. Everyone's head turned and jaws dropped. Killed it. Absolutely crushed it.
True. So welcome, Gavin.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, this is awesome having you here. We met you. I mean, we had a month of meetings a few times up at the Seabrook Idol.
Oh yeah.
What did you think of that
I loved it.
The whole show?
It was a lot of fun. I like to see all the people that came together. I think there was a packed house every single time. Like Reds is packed always, but it was a little extra packed every single time we got together, and there was a lot of very talented people in the competition. It was fun to meet everybody and talk to all those people and see where they come from.
Yeah, I have to say, they crammed a lot of people in that restaurant and bar for us, and it was fantastic. And you guys put on a great show, all the way down to the final. For the final three to come, we said it, I think, when you first walked over to us. I said, this kid's going to finish this out as one of the top. I thought you were going to win it. I still, I'll be careful because Jimmy Mack will be mad at me when he comes on, but I'm going to say that, you two, and I just can't say enough about how well you did, and you did all original songs.
Yeah, thank you.
That's something no one else can say.
Yeah, I know. I do. I love my originals, and I think that the most important part of it is to play the originals and get that stuff heard, because that's what I love to do, is play originals.
16 years old.
Yes, sir.
Where do you get the knowledge of life to write the deep songs that you actually put out there?
Honestly, I loved poetry when I was really young. I always had poetry books, and all my friends kind of thought it was a little weird because I'd walk around and I'd have I had notebooks and I'd write poems. I remember I wrote one poem about stuffed pepper soup, on how I didn't like it very much, that my mom cooked it. Sorry, Ma. But I didn't really like stuffed pepper soup, and I wrote poems about it, and all my friends were like, dude, why are you we could be playing baseball outside right now and you're writing poems in your little notebook. And I was like, I don't know, it's kind of fun. I like writing poems.
Oh.
But I just I look through the eyes of other people, and in my short 16 years, I've had a couple experiences where I can write about, and that's just kind of where I get all that stuff from.
Love it.
Yeah, you get a great writing technique too, because I mean there are people that have been in the business for 20, 30 years and they don't have the knowledge and the knack of what you've put out there. You really paint a picture with your music, which is really cool.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Having some fun out here.
Yeah, some deep songs, some deep lyrics. You started out this road down with your dad. How did it begin?
So there's a nice story. I like to tell a story. During the COVID, I was like starting to pick up the guitar, and I was like, this is fun, you know, like I love playing music. And back at that time, I was into like the Eagles, still am, but like I was into like the Eagles big time. Love the Eagles and like all those like classic like Hendrix and like Bob Dylan. Love Bob Dylan and Springsteen and all that kind of stuff. But I remember going to my dad up in his office upstairs, and I'd be like, hey, I just learned the song Hotel California. Have you ever heard of it? And he's like, oh, have I ever heard of Hotel California? You know, and I was like, let's try and go play it downstairs because we have a little like studio downstairs. And I was like, let's go and play the song. Cause he back in the '90s he moved to Austin, Texas to play music, and so he's not bad. He's got some chops. Yeah, he's got some chops. He's good. You know?
Great.
And I was like, let's go down and play Hotel California, and we kind of rehearsed it like not many times at all. And we played it together. He sang and I played the guitar, and I was just learning, so it probably wasn't the greatest thing you ever heard, but it wasn't bad. We got through the song, and it kind of started this whole thing.
It impressed your father enough that he was like, we are going to continue down this road.
Yeah, we did a lot of weeks in a row. I don't remember the exact number. It was a lot, but of every single week, he challenged me to learn a new song, and it was, no matter what it was, I played the piano. That's when I started picking up the piano. He was like, try and learn Tiny Dancer. Let's give you a challenge. I was like, all right, well, you know, that was the hardest week for sure. Tiny Dancer.
Was there money in the line for that? The Tiny Dancer? There was?
So he gave me, he said this deal. I think he was joking around. We were sitting in the driveway. We had a fire pit in the driveway, and he was like, I'll give you $100 if you can learn how to play Tiny Dancer by Friday. And it was like Monday. So I was like, all right. So I probably spent 8 to 10 hours a day, like just playing the songs, because I would just sit there in my room and just play the songs. And I pulled it off. And Friday we ended up putting it live on Facebook, and I never got the $100, but
you never got the $100.
Never got the $100.
Well, wait till he gets the bill with the compounded interest. He's really going to be surprised at that one.
Yeah, he is.
Who pays for your guitars?
You know, it's a mix. I remember I have, so on my last album cover, the Southbound album, which was my debut album, that guitar I did buy. It was my first guitar, and my first like ever guitar that I bought. It's like a Gretsch Resonator, and it's like probably one of my cooler looking guitars. But I can say that he does help me out.
Of course he does. Of course
Father
he does.
defending a father here. I'm sure you got your $100.
So you talk about that you have a debut, you have an album out.
I do.
16 years old, you have an album out. How many songs in the album?
So I released a 10-song album
in
last March, and then I released a single in June, another single. So that would be 11 songs. So then I just released another one called Traveling Day, which is the first song off my new album. And then I released another one called Back to Boston, which is the second song off my new album. And then in February, I'll be releasing another song called North Winds, which is the title track to the next album that's coming out in March.
How exciting. How can our listeners and viewers find your music? And you got a bunch of swag, too. You came in bearing swag for us, which we were psyched to see, and I can't wait to wear it. But, anyone can buy it. How do they find it?
So I send most of my stuff out on, social medias. My Instagram is Gavin Marengi. My Facebook is Gavin Marengi. But I also have a website, which is gavinmarengi.com, and that's where you can find all you can sign up for my mailing list, which I'll send emails of all the merch, new music, all that kind of stuff.
And you got a bunch of videos up too, right?
Yeah, on my YouTube, which is also Gavin Marengi. There's you can find a bunch of our live. I've been playing in a band. That's I got really lucky with some people in my band.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Are you doing all your social media and all the whole thing? You doing all the promotions behind the scene?
I do the whole thing.
Wow.
It's everything I do.
It's a great experience.
It's very useful. I think that it's good to know how to do all that.
Absolutely. You're running your own business.
Pretty much.
Right? And you're developing your own brand. I mean, that's college experience right there.
Yeah.
OJT.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
you were out there running wild, and that's pretty cool.
It's
I
great.
like it.
It's great. So you talked about a title track for your album.
Yeah.
What's the name of that song?
That song's called North Winds.
Do you mind? Yeah, let's play it for our viewers and listeners. That would be
Play a
great.
little song called North Winds. There's a cowboy sitting there on the pedestal, the star in this town. Wouldn't even kill him for a cigarette on his lip and a pistol down his head. As I sat there with my old six string in a bar in Boston without a drink, people driving by, the empty tables and dark street lights. But as the time stands still, and don't you blame it on the sleeping pills. And well, I saw you in a corner that night, shedding tears after light, like rainfall falls from the sky. So let go of what you know. The north wind rested on a railing pole, looking down upon the town below. People driving by, rushing traffic, city life. As you got home and walked through your door and kicked your boots off on the hardwood floor, and you sat up in your bed and went through everything in your head. But as the time stand still, don't you blame it on the sleeping pill. Well, I saw you in a corner that night, and your eyes haven't been dry since the bars closed in time. So let go, but you know the north winds blow. So let go, but you know the north winds blow. So let go, but you know the north winds blow.
Gavin Marengi.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. How do you come up with the lyrics for that song, and why did you pick that song to be your title track?
Those lyrics are like probably my favorite lyrics I've written in my short music career that I've had. But
You don't have to qualify that anymore. You don't have to. It doesn't even count.
but I just really do like those. I like those lyrics, so I really wanted to like shine in the album. And I like the name North Winds. It's north, we're in the Northeast, and that's just, I like that name for the album, and I love the song.
I got to ask, you mentioned it, we're in the Northeast. How come country? What brought you to that?
My grandfather was always in the country, and my dad was always playing blues, so I kind of grew up on, like, Stevie Ray Vaughan, blues, and then, my grandfather really loved Willie Nelson, so, like, Willie Nelson was, like, everywhere in the house. We had, like, I remember there's this like, handkerchief, and it's a Willie Nelson concert poster, and it's signed by Willie Nelson. He ended up getting it signed.
That's pretty cool.
And it was, like, really cool. It was in the house, and Johnny Cash, I always loved Johnny Cash, so I've kind of been brought up in this somewhat country environment.
So you've been holding a place on stage in Boston, and have you been down in Nashville?
I have been down to Nashville. In July, I played a show in Nashville called The Basement. The venue was called The Basement.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was like this little bar that like all of these like famous people have played. I got so lucky, and I'm very grateful to be able to play it. Like Tyler Childers played there. Chris Stapleton played there. Sturgill Simpson played there. It was actually where Metallica built their band out of the basement, and they like played the basement and had like this residency there. Same with Tyler Childers.
That's pretty cool. So where is your residency right now?
So right now I've been playing a lot of shows at the Nash Bar in Boston, and I love playing there. I love the people there. The environment's great. It's like being in Nashville, honestly, but you walk outside and it's freezing cold. You're in the middle of winter and it's Boston. So
it's pretty cold down there right now too. So
yeah, that's true.
And anyone that wants to book, you can just go right on your website, and there's a link for information and booking info, and they can reach right out to you at gavinmarengi.com.
Yeah, of course. Right in the contact form, fill that out, and I'm pretty quick with those answers. I'll get back.
Excellent.
When are you playing there?
The Nash Bar. I don't know when the next time will be. I'm assuming soon. I'm getting over hockey season. Where I'm a goalie, so
You weird goalies. There's no question about it. A strange breed right there.
Very strange. I mean, who wants to stand in front of like frozen rubber biscuits and just get like?
Yeah, just sit there and shoot 150-mile-an-hour pucks at me.
Yeah, it's
good times.
Well, it's a family thing, right?
Yeah.
And I can tell you, we are a hockey family, and so I know the life. I know what you're doing. Good for you. And it's a lot to balance. I mean, you school, hockey, and music at this level. I mean, you're a professional musician now.
You
are.
I appreciate it. I'm having fun.
You know what's great about you is you're very humble, and don't lose that, because I think that will take you very far in life. You've from the day that we met you, we took to you. We're like, he's a good kid.
Thank you.
And you really are.
Yeah, your parents have done an amazing job with you. That's obvious.
Yeah, they have.
Awesome. We had thrown a couple names out there earlier of, who played where you were and so forth.
Yeah.
Throw some other names out there. Who was a big inspiration to you in the music industry?
So it changes, but
don't say Taylor Swift.
It's not Taylor Swift. Even though she is.
You got to respect her. There's no doubt about that.
I respect everything she does. And actually, funny story is, in Nashville, there's this place called the Bluebird.
Yeah.
And it's like this incredible songwriter cafe. And I was like obsessed with the Bluebird. Like when we were in Nashville. Yeah, really?
Yeah, we've been a number of times, yeah.
Yeah. Have you really?
Yeah.
We couldn't get in. We couldn't get tickets.
A couple of our friends do write-arounds there. They host them. Eric Haynes, Jeff Batson.
Yeah.
We happen to be able to be there with them when they were doing a show. They had Cody Webb, who's a South Carolina musician. He was in and he did it. And then also on that billing was, come on, help me out. He's written well over 300 songs, number one hits. The guy is the real deal. He sat in with them and did it. I'll get his name in a minute out of my head, but we know what it's like there.
Yeah.
This one actually got to do a little speaking part during one of their tribute songs for firefighters. John's a firefighter.
Oh, wow.
And they have him read the firefighters' creed during the song.
That is awesome.
So being a non-musician, I've actually been on stage at the
cool,
Bluebird a few times.
The place is incredible.
It is.
I watched the documentary, and it's the things like a lot of people are like, Taylor Swift has like a pop. She's like pop, but like back in the day, she used to have like some singer-songwriter stuff. That
absolutely,
was, like,
incredibly talented.
Oh,
no
she's
doubt about
incredibly
it.
talented.
So you haven't got yourself in the door at the Bluebird yet?
I'm not. We were down in Nashville for a week, and we couldn't get a ticket in there.
Let's see if we can get you to do a round with some friends down there.
I mean, that would be amazing. I would love that.
We'll have a conversation.
Yeah, love that idea.
Awesome. And, it doesn't matter. Like the Blueberry Cafe holds, 150 people or something like that?
Not even 86, I think.
Yeah,
what it is?
86
Yeah.
each, yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you're in front of an audience of 10 or 10,000. You don't know who is there. You have to walk in there
Yeah.
full of energy, full of piss and vinegar,
yeah.
and give it your all because you don't know who is there. Have you experienced that yet? Playing out and people coming up to you afterwards?
Yeah, I got pretty lucky in my hometown, Salisbury. We played this show. It's the Blue Ocean Music Hall, and this place is like awesome. And we sold over 650 tickets. So it was like the place was packed. It was a headlining show. Me and my band, we went out there, and like after the fact, I went and like to the merch booth and I signed all the shirts and all this stuff and met a ton of people, and it was awesome.
That's pretty cool.
I love doing that.
We have a friend who's played up there, and he was a judge the previous years at Seabrook Idol. It's a shame you did not get to have him with you. He's been on tour. Pat Badger.
Yeah.
So Pat from Extreme, but he also has an Eagles tribute band.
Oh, he's in
Yeah,
that.
Dark Desert
Yeah,
Eagles. That's
yeah,
his
I know
band.
them, yeah.
So that's Pat's band.
Oh, nice.
So we'll have to get you out there to see them one day.
That'd be
And they
awesome.
do. They play up there quite a bit.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. I actually just saw him today. I was looking at like who's playing there, and I saw that they're playing there
They're
again.
great guys, great group. John grew up with Pat.
Nice.
Pat's been on the show with John. I had to skip it because I was busy with hockey. The things I give up for my children.
That's what happens.
But that's a great venue. And so you're on the stage with the same stage as so many other people are playing at a very high level. That's pretty amazing.
It was amazing playing there. I mean, the sound was ridiculous. The atmosphere, like all these people came out, and I remember. So on my Instagram, like, I have this one video that's like my favorite video of all time, and it's like all these people screaming "Southbound," which is my song off of my off of the title track of my debut album, and they were screaming it back at me. It was like the first time I ever heard people sing my song back
That's
to
wild.
me, and I was like, "Wow, this is incredible."
Yeah, what a feeling that
That's
must be.
Yeah.
Huh?
So we were like playing the song, and I'm like, I'm not thinking, because I played a lot of shows. I've like been playing for, like, I wouldn't say a lot, because other people have had like thousands, but I've played for my like 2 to 3 years I've been in music. I've been playing, and I've never even thought that I would hear people like sing my songs back to me. And then I'm like sitting on stage, and I'm like, when you're playing on stage, it's loud, so you can barely hear, but I was like hearing people like over the top of the music singing the song, and I'm like, holy crap!
You better get used to it because it's not the last time it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'll promise you
Ha-
that.
Has that been a highlight of
Yeah,
yours?
I would say that's probably the highlight of my entire music thing. Because I was like, I finished the song, and I was like, to the audience, I was like, how about we sing the song, the chorus of the song one last time, and just me. And I'm just gonna strum the guitar and listen to you guys sing it, and that was the video.
Wow.
We captured the moment. And it was like loud, and I was like, this is cool. Like
Yeah,
that'll give you the
Oh,
bug.
well, you're just at the tip of the iceberg.
And you're on the way, right? I mean, last week, Cruiser had you on.
Yeah.
Catch of the week.
That was-
How was that experience?
It was awesome. I loved that. 102.5, been listening to it forever.
Yeah.
So it was like surreal. Actually, you know what's funny is when it aired at like 12:15. So I was like, I remember being at school because that's the middle of school day, and I'm still in high school. I'm a junior, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna miss this. I can't skip class because then I'm gonna get yelled at by my principal, my teachers. And I'm not in lunch at 12:15 because lunch ends at like 12:10. And I'm like, how am I gonna do this? And I remember the math department. We all got in a room, all the math teachers, and we listened to it air, and it was really cool.
Oh,
That's
fun.
great.
So you have a good support group behind you, your friends
Yes.
and your family. Your dad's in studio with us, sitting in the
Yes.
corner. Yeah, it's great to have a good support group.
Yeah, I'm very grateful.
Have you been able to play for your school?
You know, I actually played the first show that my band ever played together was at the school, and it was like the end of the year last year, and we brought it to the auditorium. We had a whole production company come in,
Yeah.
and we put on a good show.
Great. That's how Aerosmith started out. They used to play school dances
Yeah.
and school
Really?
gigs. Yeah.
Something worked there.
Yeah,
Good. So you're a junior in high school,
I am.
and your music career has taken off.
Hey,
Look at
no,
you can't even say it. You can't even
it
admit
is.
it's happening right
It
here
is.
in front of
It
him.
is. It must be surreal for you. You must have a little bit of direction. Do you think you're going to go to college? Or are you just going to go all for the music, or are you going to just see what happens and go for it?
I think that the next 2 years, I have 2 more years in high school, junior and senior year. So we'll have to see what happens between here and then. But I definitely think it's worth it to take a stab at the music thing.
Listen, if you have to stop and go junior, senior, and figure out how many years, you better stick to college.
I know.
Stay with the education for a little bit longer.
I was counting in my head, and I was like, is it 2 years? Yeah, it's 2 years.
Listen, I got to do that because that's what I'd do to my sophomore. I would say the same thing to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, equal opportunity.
Absolutely.
Ball buster.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so basically, you're just gonna roll with the punches, and
Yeah.
if you get noticed or signed or something like that, you're just gonna go for
Let
it.
me ask you this: what was it like in the studio to actually do an album? How was that experience for you?
I love being in the studio. It's a lot of fun. I like the people that I'm in the studio with. So my band members, I'm gonna tell him AJ Pappas. He's my bass player. He is incredible bass player, and my drummer Ron Stewart, also incredible. He played with Johnny A, also like Aerosmith and Austin. He played with all those people.
Wow.
And then I got my dad on lead guitar, and he's not bad, you know. He's pretty good.
You have to say that. He's sitting right over your
Yeah,
left
I know.
shoulder.
I know. You know, I don't want him to come across this
pretty good.
with a flying elbow or something if I'm bad.
Yeah, no, this interview's about you, and your dad made that specific earlier, but he was no slouch himself. I mean,
Yeah, he's real good, real good.
real good singer, good songwriter,
Yeah.
and a great inspiration for you.
Yeah, definitely. And then my producer, and he also plays guitar with us on stage. Unbelievable musician. His name is Tim Phillips. He does all my album producing. He does it all.
What studio were you in?
So I worked this last album. We worked at Woolly Mammoth.
Okay.
It's in Waltham, I believe. And I love that place, man. It's cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like the whole vibe there is like really cool. You know, they have like merry-go-round horses hanging from the ceiling. And it's like
it's a really cool environment.
yeah, it's
nice
just really
setup.
cool.
So you've been on another show. The Seabrook Idol afforded you the opportunity to meet some people.
Yeah.
Who else have you been on a radio show recently with?
Drew Mulholland.
Drew Mulholland. What a great guy. I love
isn't
that guy. I've been on his show twice, and last July I was on the show, and I was also on the show again a couple months back.
Yeah.
And I love being on that show. It's
He's
really fun.
he's a amazing person.
He is.
And I love how he does the show up there and what he affords and brings to the table for you contestants. A great opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And who else? Another great musician that you had the opportunity.
Jay Pissarros.
Jay Pissarros.
I mean, he plays a Three Dog Night and some big names. He's no slouch himself. I mean,
he's-
just the people that were in that room. I mean, the networking that went on. There's a lot of, even the contestants have gotten together and done little side projects or have things planned. So I think it's fantastic, and that's how we met. I mean, we wouldn't have met
We
you.
wouldn't be
if it
sitting at the table
Yeah.
listening to great music with
Exactly,
you
you
if
know.
it weren't for the Seabrook Idol show. And
The Seabrook
that
Idol
group.
show was awesome. I mean, it was so much fun. It was like I didn't know what to expect because I don't even know if they were allowing 16-year-olds at the time that I signed up, and I just got lucky and got in there, and it was so much fun. Like I didn't know what to expect. Like I said, I walked in kind of as we all did, just kind of blind. But then I met Jay and Mike Caputo and Karen. They're all wicked nice people.
Yeah, no, it's a great group. So you're used to playing to an audience.
Yeah.
At Seabrook Idol, you had to play to an audience and some judges. What was your take on that, knowing that every little intricate move you did, you were being judged?
Yeah, it was definitely different than playing a show to people who follow me on Instagram or whatever. But it was cool. It was a lot of fun. It was a little bit more pressure than what I normally felt, but it was good. I remember the finals week. I actually got the starting spot, and I was like, all right, this is a little bit more pressure than normal, but I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a whole different animal when you know that you're getting judged, and
Absolutely.
but
it changes it.
And they throw, being younger, they throw out criticism.
Yeah.
And really, it's constructive criticism.
Oh, yeah.
They can't tell you you're good if you're not, but they had pretty much nothing negative to say to you, which that alone is a compliment because those are people that know their industry.
Yeah.
maybe they were being nice because I was young, but it was good.
I think I said it to you when we were up there. When you started singing, I had my camera going. I was recording, and I watched the jaws. I watched every one of the judges. You know, at some point, someone starts and they're talking to each other. They all, and I watched every person at the bar, every person at the table, everyone around us did the same thing. So, kudos to you because you are definitely bringing something that people like to hear.
Absolutely.
And
Speaking of like to hear, I'd like to hear something.
Let's go with that.
Gavin Marengi.
I'll do a song off of my last album. It's called "Carry Me Away." I played it in the finals, and people like to. I love Bob Dylan, and one thing that Bob Dylan does that I loved is play the harmonica at the same time as the guitar. So I'll do a little bit of that.
Wow, I can't play one instrument. Never mind two.
The song's called "Carry Me Away." Well, along the way the water lies still as night, still brings the fire into your eyes. Well, the streetlight glows and burns away as the people walk by in places to shoot in, stay. Well, the streetlight glows and burns away as the people walk by in places to shoot in, stay. Where the boats sway from front to back, and with you next to me, it gave me a damn near heart attack. Down by the boardwalk, too damn afraid to talk, and I'm wondering why you're here tonight. Lights in the distance lit up my dreams as I walk through this town, following the sunbeam. Yeah. The sun lights you up like a day, and the world spins around your waist. So carry me away. The sun lights you up like a day, and the world spins around your waist. So carry me away. The sun lights you up like a day, and the world spins around your waist. So carry me away. The sun lights you up like a day, and the world spins around your waist. So carry me away. The sun lights you up like a day, and the world spins around your waist. So carry me away. So carry me away. So carry me away.
Wow.
Gavin Marengi. Awesome.
Thank you.
Another great song.
Thank you.
Yeah, your lyric writing is incredible. your delivery, everything. I heard we have another friend of ours that's been on the show. I heard a little bit of Michael Pace in his voice.
Yeah, a little bit.
Which is a great compliment.
That's a good compliment.
He's down in Nashville now, Mass native on the South Shore, but you have a great sound.
Thank you.
Really
What's great about you have a little bit of, you can pick up little of your influences in your voice, but you're your own artist, which is really cool, because who wants to say, oh, you sound like this person? You're your own person, but you really do an amazing job.
That was Gavin Marengi with one of his songs from this album. Pick it up.
Buy it.
Yeah,
even on vinyl. Vinyl's cool again.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I love vinyl. We have a whole vinyl collection. Like, I love vinyl. Listen to vinyl all the time. There is something cool about that vinyl, though. On the back, if you flip it over, there's this song called Too Young to Fly on that vinyl, and it's not on the digital versions. And I wanted it that way so that you can listen to that song only from the vinyl. And the thing about that song that is so important to me is I wrote it about a girl in my school who passed away to cancer. And I wrote the song. She passed away on Christmas Day, which is like
how sad.
Heartbreaking. It was the most heartbreaking story ever. And I wrote the song on Christmas Day, and I remember like the next day I posted it on TikTok, like a little clip of it. And I was like, because I mean, everyone in my school was all like down about it, and I was like, I'm going to write a song and hopefully bring some people together and maybe cheer a couple people up. And it actually, it caught on pretty well, and the family asked me to play it at their celebration of life, which was at the Blue Ocean on the stage. And it was a week later, and to be honest, I didn't have a second verse in the song when I posted on TikTok. I posted like the first half of it, because I wrote a verse, I wrote the chorus, and that was all I had, and I was like, I'm just going to post this. And then they asked me to play it was like almost a closeout. I think I was the closing act of the celebration of life, and I was like that was pressure.
Yeah,
like,
that's heavy.
Yeah, there was like 400 people there. First time I ever played in front of my classmates, and it was heavy, and I had to write the song and remember it in less than a week's time.
Wow, that's real heavy, and I think it's appropriate that let's dedicate this whole podcast to that young lady and her family.
What was her name?
Yeah, her name is Haley Stone.
Haley Stone.
Yeah, let's dedicate this to Haley, and maybe you can play Haley's song.
I can. I haven't played in a while, but I probably can.
That's got to be hard also, right? I don't know how musicians do it where you've got all these songs in your catalog, whether it's at your young age having as many as you have right now, but how do you remember not just the words, the music, everything about the cadence of a song?
Yeah, it gets to be a lot to remember everything, especially when you're writing. So like, I love to write. It's like kind of just what I do. I just go home and I write songs, and I probably have like in my notes in my phone I have like 170 song ideas, and like 70 of the songs are finished, and I just kind of filter through all of those songs and pick the best ones out and put them on like 13 song albums, like stuff like that. But it's definitely hard to remember a lot of songs if you're not practicing them constantly. So
right. So all right, well, you're listening to Musicians and Beyond with Lawhorn and Sarabian, and Gavin Marengi is going to play his tribute to Haley Stone.
I'll give it a go. So an angel gains her wings. Well, today the family's hearts they sting. The left presents under the tree reminds me that life's not free, 'cause I'll take anything life gives me. 'Cause you're way too young to fly. We'll take those wings and make them shine. Well, remember your life's not done. We'll meet you underneath that rising sun, because you're just too young to fly. Fly, Haley, fly. Oh, she was young and she was wise. Love your sister, they could talk all night. She would smile Smile when she could, laugh when she could, but no one really understood what was going on inside her young mind. Behind those young eyes, I remember she came back for a couple of months. She was cheering on the tracks and we crossed paths in the morning at dawn. Oh, I remember when I heard the news, my family cried, it's a lot to lose. 'Cause you were just too young to fly. You were just too young. You were just too young to fly. Well, take those wings and make them shine. Well, remember your life's not done. We'll meet you underneath that rising sun, because you're just too young to fly. Fly, Haley, fly. Just too young to fly. We'll take those wings and we'll make them shine. Well, remember your life's not done. We'll meet you underneath that rising sun, because you're just too young to fly. Fly, Haley, fly.
That was Gavin Marengi with a song that he wrote for a young high school friend who passed away to cancer at a way too young age, Haley Stone. That's an amazing tribute for her.
It was unbelievable.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's great that you can use your platform of music to kind of help out other people and help people heal and all that.
Yeah, that's what I kind of wrote that song.
That
I
must
can
have
understand
been,
why the family wanted it played
that
at
must have been
celebration.
super hard for you to write that, being a friend of Haley's, and to perform it in front of all your student friends.
Yeah, I can tell you it was tough getting up on that stage and performing that song in front of all those people, because it's like her family was right there looking at me, like right in the front row, and I like remember like getting up on stage, and that's the first time I ever got on stage in front of that many people. So it was like the first time in the Blue Ocean. There was like 400 something people there, and I remember looking out and like pretty much blacking out, because I like had never played a show above, say, 80 something people, and I remember looking out and I was like, oh my Lord, like.
Right, because it's far more complex than just a large audience. It's
Yeah.
the message you're delivering. It's the
Yeah.
family. It's the emotions of the moment.
Yeah, it was a lot, but now it kind of got rid of my stage fright. So
Yeah, I'm sure. You know what? I think about it when you're singing it, and I think about it on this album. There's a song that you have memorialized the sisters' relationship, the family, their feelings for her, and that's a pretty special gift to give someone. Really. Whew.
All your songwriting skills are incredible.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
What do you have in the works right now?
I have an album that we've been working on for a while. We played a couple of the songs this summer, so if anybody's been to my shows, we played some of those songs live, and just to kind of throw them out there. But we've been working pretty hard on, I don't know a certain number of songs on it, but it's around 13. Because one day, if it's like the day before the release, and I'm like, I don't really like that song, I might pull it off. But, it's all right. I have a general idea that I want to be around 13 songs.
Okay. And how do you pick the songs that you're going to put on your album? Because you do have quite a catalog.
I go through. I have my trusty group of people that I'll send my songs to and be like, "How's this song?" And they'll be like, "Oh, that song sucks."
That guy have any input?
Yeah, he has a lot of input. My dad, I'll send it to him. They'll be like, yeah, it's just not ready yet, but some of them.
But you need that. You need the, the truthfulness
Yeah.
of it to be successful.
Yeah, it was funny. I was actually watching listening to a podcast a couple of days ago, and it was Luke Combs and Joe Rogan, and they were talking about how, like, the hurtful part of the business is that you got to be able to hear that song is not good enough. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like one of those things where people are afraid to say it, but, like, so the people that aren't afraid to say it are the people that I go to, because I like to hear, like, if this song is not ready, like, the song's not ready. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I take that information and
the timing of the release of a song also, because some songs that were written 10 years ago, and all of a sudden you'll hear songs like it now coming into, the genre changes, or it's the time for that. People pull it out of their catalog and start playing it, and it's why wasn't it good 10 years ago, and it is now, and it's starting to, it fills the trend or the void of what's going on the radio. I imagine that plays into it, right? I mean, it's happening.
Yeah.
And you got to take those considerations of what people are listening to at the time.
Yeah, it's true. It really is. It's a lot of my friends too have a good idea of what they like, because they all like the same music as me. I mean, honestly, like, to go back to the influences thing, that I never really answered that question because we spiraled off into a million other things. But
we do that a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's that's just how it goes. But I love Zach Bryan, and honestly, like, pretty much everyone does. I mean, he's incredible. I really like Chris Stapleton and Tyler Childers and Ryan Bingham. I don't know if you ever heard of Ryan
absolutely.
Bingham,
Yeah.
but I love Ryan
100%.
Bingham. And all those kind of people. Jason
Ryan's been on a TV show too, wasn't he?
Yellowstone, yeah.
That's right. The small little show.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, he's got a pretty cool vibe about him.
Yeah, I mean, I love Ryan Bingham.
Yeah.
Like, I would say, like, that's probably, like, my biggest influence, like, my music.
That's pretty cool.
Like,
I think he'd be a great opener for him.
I would.
So if he's listening right now,
Love
look
to
him
do
up.
that.
Hit him up.
I'll open for anybody who
Awesome.
who would have me.
Well, listen, pretty soon you're going to hear kids saying that about you as well. So
I hope that.
Yeah, don't lose that sparkle and keep going for your dream. I mean, this has been awesome. You played some great music. We heard some great backstories, some heart-touching stuff. You had some great conversations with your dad earlier, and we thank you both for coming in.
And we know where people can find him.
Yes, GavinMarengi.com.
Make sure if you're looking to book him, get on that contact form on his webpage, sign him up. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll answer quickly. So if you send it out.
Yeah, and we got our own vinyl.
Listen, I just want to make sure the dad gets something to walk away. So this is Friends of Ours. Gavin, you can't listen because it's a podcast, and it's Pulling the Cork podcast. It's friends of ours that do some shows, but it's a little bit more of an adult rated. And I can't give a 16-year-old kid a koozie, but I can give your dad one, that's for sure.
I'll gladly take it.
Wow. And we also got some little prizes for both of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks for coming in. We we had met you a little over a month ago, and we came friendly.
Yes, we did.
Pretty quick, so we like to think that people come in as an acquaintance and leave as a friend.
You don't get to say that anymore. You get the openings, I get the closings. So I'm going to say this. One of the things, we love to think that when people come in studio and do a show, that we've made a new friend. So we want to thank you for coming in, being one of our friends, you for being one of our friends. But what I like to do that John does differently, I love to close out the show. It's a music podcast.
Yeah.
So why don't we go out with you playing a song?
Let's do it.
And you pick it.
That's a good idea, Mark.
I know. I have these every now and then.
Well, we're going to give you a raise.
Oh, thanks.
I'm going to play a song called Angel Like You. It's on my, it's on the album, the new one. Where the sun went down, but it came back up about 2 days later. Not a cloud in the sky through those blue eyes, and not a storm on the equator. Well, it's been dark around here for a couple of months. Not a flower in bloom since the snow picked up. Oh, it would take an angel like you to light us up. 'Cause dancing on a tightrope, never coming down, 'cause we're on top of the world tonight. She had a sparkle in her smile, turn the darkest parts of me bright. If only an angel sent from heaven was make it there by light, 'cause we're on top of the world tonight. Hills never been so green since you've been around. Where the sun went down, it's dark in this town, but you're the best thing around. Well, you met my mom and you met my dad. We took a step on life's stairs. Well, you held on tight and it felt just right. You was an angel standing there, 'cause dancing on a tightrope, never coming down, 'cause we're on top of the world tonight. She had a sparkle in her smile, turned the darkest parts of me bright. If only an angel sent from heaven was only for a minute ride. Oh, I'll say tonight we'll make it there by light, 'cause we're on top of the world tonight. Oh, I'll say tonight we'll make it there by light, 'cause we're on top of the world tonight. Dancing on a tightrope, never coming down, 'cause we're on top of the world tonight. She had a sparkle in her smile to turn the darkest parts of me bright.
Thanks for coming in, and thanks for being our friend, man.
Thank you guys for having me.
You got to stop repeating my lines.
Okay.
I mean, just got to stop. It's really heartbreaking.
Oh, Mark.
Gavin, thank you for coming in. We
Thank you
really
guys for
appreciate
having
you.
me.
And thank you, Dad, for coming along and sitting in with us. You've done a great job.
Yep, he's a great kid. It's been fun.